This episode of TRS is brought to you by The Ben Heck Show, Building, Modding, and Electronics, brought to you exclusively by Element 14. Today is the day, finally, we're talking about the TV show Breaking Bad.
So today we're tackling TV again, and we're kind of going way back machine to cover a show that has been getting a lot of buzz and a lot of awards, and people have been loving to bits and pieces, and we just hadn't
begging
watched.
us to cover it. There's been like a write-in campaign for this one.
Yes. So it's called Babylon 5. I had to. That's just another one that we get a lot of write-ins. Maybe in the future.
No, not gonna happen.
Anyway, it's Breaking Bad. If you don't know about Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston, who was on Malcolm in the Middle, it's sort of a funny, dramatic turn for him, and I say funny because there's funny moments, but it's a very dramatic turn for him. He's won a number of awards for it in the past. I think his sort of kid buddy just won the Emmy, or was it the Emmy or Golden Globe or something for supporting actor?
He keeps on winning every year.
He keeps on winning. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So if you don't know the premise already, without any spoilers, Bryan Cranston is sort of a down on his luck science teacher, chemistry teacher, who comes to find out that he's been diagnosed with cancer. Then he ends up, through all of these twists and turns, turning into being a meth cooker. So he's cooking crystal meth, but as a chemistry teacher, he's sort of very good at cooking crystal meth. Anyway, that is sort of the overall broad, but so much more is happening in this series. Daniel Trachtenberg, my friend, what have you been thinking? How far did you get in it? Have you caught up yet?
I'm not caught up. I'm halfway through season 2.
Okay, and what is your vibe?
So I was expecting to like see this pilot like everyone else in the world and be like completely floored. Didn't happen for me in the pilot. But the second episode of this show is one of the greatest shows of all time. Is one of the greatest episodes of a show of all time. It is amazing to this day. The second episode is like a almost like a Rube Goldberg device of horrible events that happen. They have to keep on out. And I go, this is why everyone is talking about the show, because I thought every episode is gonna be like this crazy thing, and they're gonna be referencing, the whole season's gonna be, like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. That may have been my bad, because the show has never lived up to that second episode for me. But it's still a very good show. I have to say that I probably like this the least out of anyone I've ever talked to ever, because everyone I talk to, it's their favorite thing and it's awesome. I just think it's good, I think I really don't like his wife, the actress.
Wow. Okay.
I found her very off-putting, and I feel like there's a moment that stood out to me. Where she's playing hanky-panky with him underneath the table. I think it's in season 1, or he's doing that to her, and she's not playing it like a person sitting in the room reacting to it. She's playing like she knows it's a joke, like as an actor who knows the joke of the scene and is playing the joke, and how silly. Oh, I'm a stuck-up woman, and this is like I feel like she's constantly theatrical and performing.
I can't wait for somebody to clip that little bit. Ooh, I'm a stuck-up woman, and this is good.
I just feel like she's aware of what her role is as a filmmaker in the scene, as opposed to making me buy into the moment.
Real in the moment, or whatever. Okay.
The young man, the gentleman, whose name I should know, but he's awesome.
Gentleman.
He's awesome. Yeah. And that character is very unlikable, and then they do things to make you empathize with him, and that's really great to see in a show.
So you're sort of lukewarm on it.
I mean, it's good, but it doesn't compel me to even though, because I just feel odd because everyone else is like, I can't stop watching. I could stop watching.
Jeffrey. I'm one of the everyone else's that loves the show, loves this show. I'm so glad I finally got around to seeing it. A lot of shows like that, hard to watch everything, but this is definitely one that should not be missed. Bryan Cranston is fantastic. The relationship between he and that boy, that child. No,
I know. He's like a 20-something guy.
Yeah. They are. That relationship is not like any other relationship on television.
Yeah.
Which it's so interesting to see things that unmined territory relationship-wise.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't fit into any standard template.
It's not him. It's not. We have him and his wife, but it's not a guy and a girl, and it's not a loved relationship.
Yeah.
It's not a father
It's not
daughter,
a father
father
son.
It's something else.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah,
And
nor is it like the teacher-student role. That's
Right.
not actually there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
But
so
really it's
so
like-
interesting, and you
See
know,
what I'm saying?
there's a lot about this show that reminds me of the greatest show ever, The Shield, in that it's a lot about keeping, you know, this character that you relate to who lives in this world of gray morality, who is doing these things that are illegal and trying to keep the balls in the air and lying to his people closest to him, and you know the fact that his brother-in-law is a DEA agent,
Yeah.
I think in a lot of shows could come up as being really way too convenient. But
Yeah.
this show somehow makes it work, and I like that guy and that character
Yeah.
works really well.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun seeing someone squirm, and it puts them in these positions. It's like, how the hell is he going to get out of that? And then he gets out of it.
Yeah.
And he almost. It's a lovely celebration of science as well.
Yeah.
You know, like his superpowers using science.
Yeah.
You know, which is super cool. There's so much to like. It is poetic in how it deals with terminal illness.
Yep.
It is exciting in a moment-to-moment kind of adventure way. It's unpredictable, and the performances are just off the charts good.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm leaning more towards Jeff, unfortunately, Dan, but you're really nice. And clearly, I just have to say, I think it's pretty clear that Snoop Mikey behind the camera likes it, because this is him and his roommate for Halloween. So
yes.
clearly,
Brilliant.
You can't even tell it's them because it looks so much like a shot.
It actually does look so much like, it's like that's a movie poster for the TV show. Where
Yeah.
it would be a movie poster. But I fell in love with this. I mean, I think I can understand where you're coming from. That second episode was my favorite of the season. But for me, it really was all about Bryan Cranston. I think that, and I mean, it's sort of, I even feel stupid saying anything about it because it's been said by everybody. But if it helps that we're saying it to you, for you to get off your butt and watch this,
Yeah.
then go do that.
It took people saying it to us to get off our butts and watch it.
100%. But
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. You should keep going.
No, what was the question?
Well, you've watched season 1.
Yeah.
You haven't watched any season 2.
Correct.
Why not?
Because I was going to watch it on the plane, but then it was
World of
I mean, I
Warcraft.
just feel
The answer
like-
is World of Warcraft.
No, but I just feel like I feel like you're not as compelled to, you know, get into season 2.
Well, but there are tons of great television shows that I don't have the time to be. I mean, I don't even have the time
but
for the shows that are out now.
you might be more in Dan's camp a little bit because I like the show, but
Oh man.
it's just not like
every-
he couldn't
every
stop. You
moment-
can't stop watching.
Can't
You
stop.
had to do
Yes.
that. You had that moment that I had with Friday Night Lights eventually and Firefly. Like I can't stop.
That
you know,
to
and
me,
you had that with
that to me does
something.
not. I know myself well enough to know that does not mean that I like the show any less.
Yeah.
Because as any human being, I go through wanes.
Right.
So like Walking Dead,
Wayne's
I didn't
World,
watch
Wayne
the last
Brady.
3 episodes of Walking Dead for ages.
David
They
Wayne.
sat on my because I just couldn't get over.
No, I know. I know.
Best show.
I hear
Same
you.
with Boardwalk Empire.
I hear you.
So the fact that that doesn't mean that the show
Okay.
is any less important to me. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, but I
Stately
almost-
Wayne Manor.
No, but I mean, there aren't.
Bruce
there is-
Wayne.
I will tell you right here. Here's
already
here's
used
the
that
thing.
one.
I've never seen a show that I have watched
Wade.
and that I've loved and that I've not been able to stop watching at a certain point. There's
okay.
no show in my life that does that to me.
I wish I had the feeling that you can get into when you had the show on DVD and you just watch. You spend a whole weekend. You think you're gonna watch an episode and you've watched
Yeah.
like 2 seasons. Like I love that.
Yeah.
And this show seems to be that for so many people.
That's how it
And
is for me.
Yeah, and like
No shows are
and a lot
ever
of people
like that,
said
so
that.
it doesn't mean that I don't think that this is an amazing program because I haven't done that.
Right.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Because the vibe I got from you was maybe it's not. Maybe I don't like it as much as I think I like it because I wasn't able to watch season 2 Or I was able
No,
to not watch
I was
season
curious
2.
why you hadn't yet. I was thinking, oh, maybe it's,
Dwayne Wade from
Because
it's
things
a different
happen.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is definitely, in my opinion, a must see.
It's great. I love
It's out on
structurally.
DVD.
I love structure, and it's on Blu-ray too. I love structurally how the episodes often start with some inanimate object in a discarded position, and then you figure out later why it got there or how it got there. It creates dramatic tension that way. I think this show is wonderful. Like the very first episode, it starts with these pants like fluttering in the air.
Yeah.
And a lot of episodes do stuff like that, where it's like there'll be a stuffed animal in a pool,
Yeah, I was thinking of that one,
the car like bouncing, and there's so many things that it does in an artful way. It's so good, and the writing is really strong, and the characters, I care for them all. I love the fact that his son has cerebral palsy, but that's not it's like that's just a thing.
Yeah.
It's not an issue. It's not the big.
Yeah.
Love that.
And the other thing is, it is good to know, this is one of the first, it's AMC, right? This was one of the beginning of the AMC getting into the scripted television game.
Yeah.
And so well, because FX had been doing it for a while, and it may even have been the first scripted drama that AMC did. Now, of course, they've given us Mad Men, they've given us Walking Dead, so they've really got into that game. And so I love the fact that it's sort of pioneering for a network.
It does feel like it has that same structure. The one that you're referring to seems like because the Shield kind of has that, Damages has that. What's the other shows on FX? They all seem to have that obscure thing happening in the beginning that then gets like playing with time structure. Like they all of them, and like I feel like it's sort of, and that's why even watching Breaking Bad, I feel like we get.
I don't know. I mean,
Interesting.
Damages is about
shows,
that. Damages is about playing with time. I mean, it's about
every
that.
episode.
But Shield
feels
doesn't
that.
really do that.
Or maybe the Shield, but the Shield has other
best
links
show
to
ever.
Breaking Bad.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia? I mean, there's tons of FX
No,
shows.
what was that one we watched recently?
Justified?
Justified. Anyway, we will go back and figure this out.
Thank you guys for
Dan.
pressuring us to watch
And please
this.
enjoy Breaking Bad. Remember to stick around for this day in rad history, but we do want to thank our sponsor, The Ben Heck Show. So join Ben Heck, the modding wizard, and his friends as they build and modify a host of amazing community-inspired creations. The Ben Heck Show is brought to you exclusively by Element 14, the online store and community for electronic design engineers. Of course, in the latest episode, Ben begins to build a full-size pinball machine in his workshop from scratch.
Whoa.
That takes some doing. You can check them out here on
You can
Revision
build me
3.
one? I'd like one. Sure.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow on TRS, we play with a quadricopter, the AR.Drone.
Today is January 6th, and on this day in rad history, way back in 1975, The Wheel of Fortune debuts in Germany. No, I'm just kidding. The Wheel of Fortune debuts here in the States on NBC TV.
And it's still going
I cannot
strong.
believe
35 years.
35
going.
years.
So that means today, probably on Wheel of Fortune, they're gonna have like a 35-year anniversary. Like, I bet you that's
36,
happening.
right? Because this is 2011.
2011.
Welcome to the future.
2011.
Future. Weird. Pat Sajak, Vanna White. I don't think Vanna
they're
White was in the
still
first
on.
season.
No, but I think
Was
Pat
she?
Chaychak is now animatronic.
Yeah, Pat Sajak, it still looks the same and it's still on. Could you imagine
Doing that same thing for 35 years. Cut to us.
I know.